and out of the mouth of the beast is talking about the circle of organizations that make the decisions, but we call the social financial architects. The beast is talking about the military force, the counterpart, the ones who carry out the aggression that these decision makers, that the shot callers decide to get done. Thus, it's talking about the propaganda, the lies. And it's going to tell you why they do it. They do it with the intention of taking and steering the world in a certain direction. Read on down. It says, I'll read that verse again about out of the mouth of those three entities.
Verse 13. And I saw three unclean spirits like frost come out of the mouth of the dragon.
That's the circle of Edomites who call the shots. Go ahead.
And out of the mouth of the beast.
That's the circle of military force that carry out the orders of aggression. Go ahead.
And out of the mouth of the false prophet.
And that's talking about the religious institution. That's what the false prophet is. It's a person or an institution that's claiming to be promulgating and forwarding the word of the Most High, but doing so in a lie. They're not really the prophets, they're the false prophets. And so, let me say this. That is the element of the, quote, godliness or Christianity. Or, you know what I'm saying? Let me say this. What was Bush heralded as but being what? Bush himself said God told him to do it. Did he not?
Yeah.
And he had the support of what? All American Christians behind him. And you know what? It's funny because they be talking about Bush now, but share with you damn Edomites don't even believe in it. They see it like now because all their sons and daughters, it's a prolonged war with no foreseeable end in sight. But they was with it, lock, stock, and barrel. I used to see bumper stickers that said, bomb Iraq and take the oil. Now you see bumper stickers with Iran. Bomb Iran and take their oil. Do you know all they were talking about? Matter of fact, they used to say glass parking lot. Because you know when you nuke them, it turns, it's almost sand, and the extreme heat will turn it. Because when they want to destroy a country, it will turn you into a parking lot. But ever since they entered into the Middle East, they always refer to turning those countries into what? Glass parking lots because of the content of sand combined with heat. You know what? They make jokes about the type of devastation that they plan on living in the name of Christianity, in the name that President Bush is a godly man. That's what. So when they say the mouth of the dragon and the beast and the false prophet, is talking about all the propaganda that's used to shape, that's used to configure and direct the people's attentions, and there's a term, what was it called? And they're, you know, it's like the people's willingness. They're behind the move. It ain't only until recent. You got a few people out there, one like Alex Jones, another cat like Scott Ritter. This cat Ritter was he's a U.S. Marine, and he was also one of the top weapons inspectors that went and checked out the facility and verified that Hussein didn't have no, you know, they're decades away from having a nuclear program, let alone a nuclear bomb. Then you got Ray McGovern, ex-CIA analyst, that was bringing the same thing out. So you got very few people out there that have been dropping the truth about what took place. But what? It seemed like the effort that was used by the media, what's the scripture say? Read on down.
Verse 14. For they are the spirits of devils.
Listen, it says those three green spirits, those frog-like spirits that's coming out of the mouth of the dragon, out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. What are they?
The spirits of devils.
The spirit of, let me say this, when you look up the word devil, the true definition of the word devil is slanderer, false accuser. And then in its most extract sense, it means a one who casts in the way. What it means when it says cast in the way, it means it's a person that throws an object in your way that causes you to fall. And that's all the things that Esau did. In other words, they keep talking about Hussein's chemical weapons. You know, his chemical biological program. But who did he get his chemical biological agents from but the Americans? You understand? That's who he got them from. So, in other words, the thing that they threw in Hussein's way that caused him to fall was what? Was the weapons. They set him up and gave him the weapons, and then they came back and did what? Accused him of something that he didn't do. That's what the term devil means. In other words, these are the spirit of devils, meaning slanderers or false accusers that's doing what? Read it again from the top of that.
Verse 14. For they are the spirits of devils.
Talking about those three unclean spirits. Go ahead.
Working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth.
No, when they say working miracles, they ain't talking about no hocus pocus. It's talking about all of the damn lies and the strings they pull and the manipulation that they use between the media. And like I said, if Hussein back in the late 70s, 79, when they set him up in 79, and right off the bat, financed him to go in and attack the Iranians in an 8-year war. You know, the Iran-Iraqi war that went from 1980 to 1988. In other words, these are the same. In other words, that's the stuff that he's talking about when he said miracles. He's talking about all the deals, all the shady dealings, all the finances. It's like when they have war. What do these people do? They finance both sides of every war. They've been doing this since the damn Renaissance. You know what I'm saying? Like the British house, the Rothschilds, hell, they financed the French house of the Rothschilds financed Napoleon for his final battle. The English house of the Rothschilds financed Lord Wellington. That was his name, Wellington, right? Waterloo financed Lord Wellington. And then, with the understanding of what? That whoever, first of all, the whole process is hedging your bets. You make it so if you do lose, you don't lose big. But they didn't lose at all because when they finance the person, they finance the side that they want to win because they give them enough financing and enough the potential to outfit themselves with the intention of winning, where they finance the person the side that they intend to lose, they finance them only enough to keep the hopes of winning alive, never enough to win. And then when the victor, whoever determined to be the victor of the war, the victor always honors the debt of the vanquished. People don't know that's how the damn financing the war. You never should win. In other words, the victor is paying you back. They're in debt to you for having financed you, and they're in debt. You're in debt. Let me say this: the victor is in debt to the banker for having financed him in his ability to win, in his effort to win. Then the victor is in debt to cover the financing of the vanquished because that was money that was owed that you destroyed, and that's the agreement. That was so. When they said these are the kings, these are the forces, demons working miracles. Those are the type of miracles. They're doing the same thing now. They're doing the same thing now. All the Most High gave them the power and the resources and the wires to, the wherewithal to direct and steer this world in the direction that they want to go because the Most High put it on their mind. That's what He's actually gave them the freedom and the spirit to go where He wants them to be at for by the time He wants to destroy them. That's what this is all about. Read on down, brother.
Verse 14. For they are the spirits of devils, working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world.
And that's what they're doing. Now, what are some of the ways that they go? They don't just pop up with armies. They be sending, like that book, Confession of an Economic Hitman. They be sending their representatives. That's how they listen. These are the cats that took the Bedouin warlords of Arabia and Kuwait. You understand? And just financed them and said, "Listen, you're going to be the royal family of this country." It was the Americans that set up the house of Saul, man. People don't even know that. It was just a bunch of damn, tribal, Bedouin, Arab war, clans. And they just financed them. And let me say this. They brought them under their grip. Why? Because for all the oil that the Arabs and the Arab lands have, which one of those nations have the industry, the technology, and the infrastructure to profit from the resource that would become the most coveted? They didn't even have it. So what did the country do? This is one of the miracles that it's talking about. It does what? It extends a loan with the intention of getting that nation in debt and making it so that the interest rates are so damn high they can't pay it back, which they do. And then they pay the damn kings or the leaders to default on it, and then that resource becomes, which was actually the collateral of the loan, becomes what? It's like you want to be financing a car and you don't pay the car. What happened? The bank eventually repo it. That car or that home, the home gets foreclosed on it. Well, in other words, if you put using the actual value of the oil itself as collateral to build up your oil refining infrastructure, and you can't pay the bill back, the oil becomes what? Property of the finances. Period, point blank. That's what they know, is he's using all of these type of things to bring the kings, because do you think these kings are going to fight for nothing? No, but they are in debt to the beast. You understand? They get pulled into a web of debt, and this is how they pay off that debt. Go ahead. And let me say this. That's why you got Egypt and Saudi Arabia that are what? Is that a gun or is that? Okay, I thought we wanted to go upstairs, but I'm just saying that's a little bit too close to the window, ain't it? Go. What were you saying?
Verse 14.
Go ahead. Read again.
Revelation chapter 16 and verse.
No, go ahead.
Verse 14. For they are the spirits of devils, working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world.
Right.
To gather them.
Now it's showing you. Remember, it's describing still the purpose of the spirits that are coming out, of the frog-like spirits that are coming out of the mouth of the dragon, of the beast, and of the false prophet. So it's telling you, in other words, they're working in different levels, but with the intention of doing what? With the intention of drawing all these nations, and they show us the Most High got them doing. Read it again. Just read from yeah, you ready? Go ahead.
Okay, to gather them to the battle of that great day of God Almighty.
And that's really what that's talking about. So the point was, but what can I say? Under what vibe did it say that would take place? Under what trumpet? It was the sixth trumpet. The point I'm trying to show you is in Revelation chapter 9 and verse 11, that's talking about, but how many fucking bombs are they going to blow up out there, man? Now if I go up there and shoot a fucking shotgun at their ass, what they going to do? Shit make you fucking mad. They might have the window blowing a bomb. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, go ahead and read it.
Verse 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments.
Go ahead.
Lest he walk naked and they see his shame.
Go ahead.
And gather them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon.
So what the point I'm making with this verse, Revelation chapter 9 verses 13 and 14 and Revelation chapter 16 verses 12 to 16, that process is underway now. That process is underway right now. In other words, the angels, those spirits, have been released out of the great river Euphrates. You understand? And what? And their neighbors. All you have to do is keep up with the news. Every other month, every so many other, so many 2 or 3 months, every so many seasons, you get another country whose name is thrown into the pot. You know what I mean? Like more recently, what have you heard? You know how they got used to Pakistan. So what are you hearing now? You're hearing about Yemen. You're hearing about an Al-Qaeda terrorist cell in Yemen. And you know what I'm saying? Now Yemen is what? When you read this, Yemen is down at the southern extreme of the southwestern portion of Saudi Arabia. It's not Saudi Arabia. It's to the southwest of Saudi Arabia. Let me make sure. I want to get the map because this is one of the countries that you be hearing about. Right here. The southwestern portion. There's Saudi Arabia. And that's still Yemen today. You know what I mean? Those are the nations that the scriptures be talking about. But it'll say Dedan and Sheba of Ezekiel chapter 38. That's that region in the Old Testament, or I should say the biblical days. The names of those lands were Dedan, Sheba, were Havilah. It was all the Ishmaelites. All right. What verse you at now? You going back to chapter 11? I'm sorry, back to chapter 9.
Verse 15.
Chapter 9 and verse 15. Go ahead, brother.
And the 4 angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year for to slay the third part of men. Yeah, man. Go ahead. In other words, when they say the third part of men, it's talking about. Now remember, earlier in chapter 9, it says that the first woe, those locusts that were given power, they couldn't kill. It said they could only what?